Welcome back to the Grand Prix of Germany here at Teufelstal, this Talkessel circuit. The scene for the final round of the 2012 MX2 Motocross Grand Prix season. Of course, Jeffrey Herlings, already crowned world champion 2 weeks ago at the Grand Prix of Europe in Faenza, which was just as well, really, because in Moto number 1, the new world champion failed to finish after going out early in Moto number 1. So he'll be looking to try to make amends here in this second race. So too, Tommy Searle, he'll be looking to round out his MX2 Grand Prix career with a victory. He was the winner in Moto number 1. He'll be looking for at least the same in this second race. But the battle for 4th place still yet to be decided between Jake Nichols and Jordi Tixier. Those two guys, this is how they line up after the qualifying race. Not how they finished in the first race, but still see 1 or 2 empty gates at the end there. The riders just making their way to the line. But Jake Nichols on 4.27, Jordi Tixier on 4.21. So 6 points in it between Jake Nichols on the Nissan JM Racing KTM and Jordi Tixier on the Red Bull Factory Racing KTM. That the battle for 4th place. Of course, Tommy Searle guaranteed 2nd. Jeremy Van Hoorbeek guaranteed 3rd. Not riding here this weekend. Tweaked his knee in practice yesterday. Going to put all his efforts into the Monster Energy Motocross of Nations in a week's time on home soil at Lommel in Belgium. Ingo Parch, our race director this weekend from the FIM, brings the riders in the starters' orders. The Monster Energy 15-second board gets hoisted high. The crowd rise to their feet. The music pumps from the speakers all around this circuit. The energy is electric. The 5-second board turns. The gate about to drop. It does so now. Zach Osborne up the inside on the left-hand side. Doesn't get a good jump. In fact, it's Jake Nichols who takes the whole shot going through turn 1. The best possible start for the young Brit. He's got Tommy Searle just behind him. And then is that Herlings in 3rd? I think it is. He's just gone around the outside of Tommy Searle. So we've got Nichols, Herlings, and Elliot Banks-Brown yet again. He dies in the 2nd place. Hard and slick in some places. The track freshly watered. There's Osborne buried down. He didn't make a good jump. Struggled to pick up traction coming off the gate as well. He's going to find it hard work to come through, but he will. He was one of the quickest guys on track. Herlings up the inside of Elliot Banks-Brown, moves into 2nd position. Tommy Searle going to go with him as well. So we've got Jake Nichols leading the way here. Number 45, Herlings there in 2nd. Number 84, Elliot Banks-Brown, though, making him work hard for it. Ooh, I tell you what, that's pretty slick on the landing down there. Tommy Searle in 3rd place, Elliot Banks-Brown 4th, Tellier in 5th as they come over the tabletop in the background. Then the Suzuki of Lieber, then the Yamaha of Tonus in 7th, the KTM of number 17 of Boutron in 8th. Then where's Tixier? Tixier about 3 positions further back, just behind Tonkov, that looks like. So Tonkov then, just there. And Osborne already getting in the mix there. This will help Jake Nichols out no end as Tonkov not sure. Look how slippery it is down the bottom end here. Wouldn't want to be in any of these guys' shoes at the moment. The opening laps conditions pretty slippery. Osborne goes through on Tonkov. Disappearing down the bottom end of the circuit, behind the work area, behind pit lane. Everybody trying to sort themselves out. Osborne trying to go around the outside of Jordi Tixier. Doesn't make it work around the outside. He swings it to the opposite side. Oh, right, it goes down. Was that the Suzuki of Lieber? Think it might have been. So he goes down. The Rockstar Energy Suzuki Europe rider lost the front end coming into the turn. Hard and slick, as we said. They've tried to work the machine as well. Oh, no, he got sandwiched there. Got pushed out by Boutron. Tixier got held up, so too did Zach Osborne. Those two guys don't want to go down, that's for sure. And Jordan Lecomte, 222, goes wide. So too the number 6 of Max Anstey. So over the line they go then. Jake Nichols leads from Jeffrey Herlings. Tommy Searle in 3rd, Elliot Banks-Brown 4th, Valentin Tellier 5th, Tonus is 6th, Boutron 7th, Coldenhoff 8th, Tixier 9, Osborne 10, Larier 11, Tonkov is 12th, Jordan Lecomte is 13th, with Roman Febvre down in 14th, Davis Ivanovs 15th, Robert Just, Alessandro Lupino down in 17th, Brent Van Donnick, Peter Eert and Julian Lieber picking himself up in 20th place. But Jake Nichols leading the way here in the early stages. This will be good for him, actually. He knows, and he will know, definitely next time around from the pit board, where his closest rival is in terms of the championship battle for fourth place. Tommy Searle, if he can find a way past Herlings here in the early stages, that will certainly help out Jake Nichols as well. Nichols, our race leader there, just disappearing out of shot in white. The KTM there, the orange machine of number 84 in second. Jeffrey Herlings on board in fourth place with Elliot Banks-Brown on the HM Plant KTM UK machine. Went out in third place in the first moto, just a few laps from home. Up and over the Monster Energy Mountain. Nichols just trying to pick his way through. Nice line there from Herlings. Goes wide, sweeps across the middle of the corner. Lieber down again in one of the right-handers in the valley. Looks like the final right before you drop left along the plateau. So going from bad to worse then for the 33 of Julian Lieber. There's fourth, fifth and sixth. Tonus just off the back of that group on that number 7 Yamaha. But Jake Nichols was fastest first time around at 206.9 compared to the 208.1, 208.8 of Herlings and Searle respectively. Tommy Searle won't be in a hurry to do anything about Jeffrey Herlings just yet. He knows where he is. That'll give him guarantee him the overall Grand Prix victory, but certainly he'll want to have one last battle with Jeffrey Herlings. That's what we all want to see here. His final ever Grand Prix in MX2, Tommy Searle. Finished second this year in the 2012 championship. But what about Elliot Banks-Brown? We want to see him get a good result as well, make up for the injuries and the disappointment that he's suffered throughout this season, both domestically and abroad. And he's having a good ride again in fourth place. So not sure exactly what the problem was with the bike. We just saw a big puff of blue smoke out the back of the exhaust, but you can say it was an engine blow-up or whatever you want, but there will be a technical term for it somewhere. Didn't have a chance to go and speak to Roger McGee or anybody from the team, but he's well placed at the moment in fourth position. Nichols, Herlings, Searle, Banks-Brown. 3 Brits in the top 4 positions. There's Valentin Tellier in the bright orange colour. He's in fifth. Then it's Arnold Tonus on the black machine, the Monster Energy Yamaha, in sixth. Challenge for the lead coming here. Herlings gets a good jump alongside Jake Nichols. Of course, Herlings' teammate to Jordi Tixier. Tixier down in 10th place at the moment. Mistake there from Jake Nichols, and Herlings looking to go through at the top of the hill here. But Herlings gets the door slammed in his face. Tries to turn off that bank a little bit early again this time, but didn't quite work out for him then. Tommy Searle up the inside of Herlings. This is a great battle here for the first 3 positions. Elliot Banks-Brown in the great seat, just watching it from the background. Tommy Searle at the inside. Whoa, not quite going to get through there. So Tommy Searle in green on the Floride Monster Energy Kawasaki. Ollie Stone, the mechanic for Jake Nichols, and Tommy Searle does go through. Herlings, though, will switch it to the inside here unless Tommy Searle holds a tight line. Perfect move there from Tommy Searle. Herlings tries to go around the outside. Will he make it stick coming into the final corner? No, he won't. So Tommy Searle then pushes Herlings back to third. Rides shotgun for Jake Nichols for now at least. Protecting the investments of his teammate for the next week's Motocross of Nations. Tommy Searle and Jake Nichols, 2 of the 3 riders. Max Anstey, the other rider on Team GB, out of the top 20 at the moment. So Anstey's final Grand Prix on a Honda, not going according to plan. Down in 26, of course, signed for Rockstar Energy Suzuki Europe next year. But our race leader, number 45, Jake Nichols. Tommy Searle, 100, trying to find a way through, though. Jeffrey Herlings in third on the orange Red Bull KTM, just there. Then Elliot Banks-Brown in fourth place. Jake Nichols probably still thinks that's Herlings behind him, you know. Great battle so far. Oh, look at that. Tommy Searle just gets his nose in front of Jake Nichols. It was a little bit close there, jumping onto the plateau. But Jake Nichols now surely will try to stay on the rear wheel of Tommy Searle, get himself dragged along. Try to break free from the number 84, just there, the 3rd rider in shot, Jeffrey Herlings. Nichols going after the race win, though, it looks like here. He can concentrate on a battle like this, Jake Nichols. 4th place in the championship will be the furthest thing on his mind. Tixier now in 9th place. Of course, Tixier, the scenario at the moment, 6 points behind Jake Nichols in the championship chase. Of course, Jake Nichols would be pulling up a few points here as Hurlings goes down the inside. Doesn't want to get involved here, Jake Nichols. Let him through. But in terms of Tixier, he's got to at least catch Jake Nichols and go by him, and maybe even go on to win the race at this stage. But Hurlings now into 2nd position. Red Bull KTM. What will his tactic be? Go after the race win? Not let Tommy Searle have a double moto victory as well as a Grand Prix win? There's Elliot Banks-Brown just behind Jake Nichols. He's in 4th place, so the 45 and the 44 in 3rd and 4th place. Valentin Tellier, Rockstar Bud Racing Kawasaki down in 5th. Tonus Monster Energy Yamaha 6th. Deagle Racing Jose Boutron is 7th. The Star Gem Racing KTM of Glenn Koldenoff down in 8th place. We've got Tixier behind him in 9th. And then down in 10th, we've got Lurk Larrier, teammate to Tommy Searle. Zach Osborne down in 11th place. Alex Tonkov 12th. Roman Fevers, Bodo Schmidt Motorsport KTM. He is down in 13th place. Jordan Lecon on the NGS Junior Kawasaki is 14th. Davis Ivanos is 15th, with Lupino, Chervelin, It, Monticelli and Benoit Pacharel down in 20th place. Big race this for Jake Nichols, number 45 there, currently in 3rd position on the Nastan Gem Racing KTM. Behind him, fellow Brit, number 44 there, Elliot Banks-Brown on the HM Plant KTM. Absolutely nothing to lose in the 2nd race. Then we've got number 37, just here in the orange, of Valentin Tellier. Jake Nichols takes a look over his shoulder, sees Elliot Banks-Brown there, knocking on the door. Let's see if we can get a wide shot here. There's 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, Tonus. 7th in the background, Boutron. Koldenoff 8th. So at least Jake Nichols can probably keep a mental note as to where Tixier is. Opposite loops, able to look across from one side of the track to the other to see where the young Frenchman is. But Elliot Banks-Brown, though, he just wants to finish this Grand Prix season on a high. If he can get on the podium, he will do. Jake Nichols going for 4th place. Slightly bigger opportunity for him. There's Tellier. Tonus not making any inroads in that 6th position. Almost 2 seconds down on Valentin Tellier. Arnold Tonus. Jake Nichols ahead here, though, in the white. Going on here? Somebody had a moment. Ooh! Who was that going down? '73. Peter Eert, the JTEC Yamaha. Just got the back end came around on him. It looks like there as he prepared to take off on that step down. Bike took off without him in the end. Gap between Jake Nichols and Geordie Tixier, 9 seconds at the moment. Jake Nichols lapping 205.1, Tixier 205.1, so all pretty much equal, apart from the position in the race. Banks-Brown doing his best to keep Nichols in his sights, maybe even looking for a way through, but there's Hurlings just going through in 2nd. Nichols there in 3rd. The 44 of Banks-Brown, that's him there in 44 in 4th place. Nice line railing around the outside. The orange in the background is Valentin Tellier wheeling up onto the little plateau there. Then Arnold Tonus, number 7. He's in 6th place. Boutron Tixier now in 8th place. So Tixier's found a way past Glenn Koldenoff. They're looking for a way forward. 22 minutes though remain, plus 2 laps. Elliot Banks-Brown. Oh, Boutron's gone down. So Boutron then out of 7th place. Osborne goes through. Whole bunch of riders. Tixier, one of those as well, going through. Looked like Tixier might have had an off, you know, on that lap, because he certainly looked like he was going past Tixier. Yeah, he's down to 11th, so he has had an off. With Boutron going down there, we just saw a flash of Tixier coming through. Jordi Tixier now down in 11th position. So he got up to 8th. And there he is. He's got a load of fencing wrapped around that rear wheel as well. Look, Jordi Tixier, 9-11. He's got Roman Fevre just behind him. So now these two, 11th and 12th. So a bit of a let-off there for, well, not a let-off, a bit of a comfort break, I guess, for Jake Nichols. Now in 3rd position. He'll have the board signal next time around saying Tixier from 8th down to 11th, losing 3 positions. And that was it, look. Half the track with him. Ooh, I'll tell you what. Very, very lucky with that track post. Round the rear disc as well. So he's going to suffer with brake problems. And drive as well. Got it round both sides, look. That green fencing, Jordi Tixier. He's in a battle for 4th place in the championship with Jake Nichols. Nichols in 3rd. Tixier was in 8th, but apart from that mistake then, it's dropped him down to 11th place. The 461 Bodo Schmidt Motorsport KTM, the guy in white just behind him, prepares to come through as well to push him back down a position. The motivation for Tixier at this point must be at a low, because he knows he's got a problem. His back's against the wall. He's having to fight through traffic. Nichols is going to be about 20 seconds ahead of him. Maybe even more now. So Red Bull KTM aren't going to, at this stage at least, take 1st, 2nd and 4th in the championship. Elliot Banks-Brown, though, great riding from him still. Over the line, 7 laps complete. He's got Tonus behind him now, though. Tellier's dropped back to 6th. Arnold Tonus just there, number 7. Looking to go after the orange KTM, the number 44, Elliot Banks-Brown. So the Brit versus the Swiss, and leaves the door wide open. Tonus goes sailing through. Tonus now up in a 4th place. Going to go after Jake Nichols. Nichols 11 seconds off the lead, 4 seconds down on Hurlings in 2nd. This is Elliot Banks-Brown running wide. Tonus will come through on the left-hand side now. He'll keep it nice and low off here. Take a look back as well. Look, there we go. Gives himself plenty of room. Banks-Brown was short in the end as well on the landing, but 202, Larrier in. Not been a good day at the office for him this weekend. DNF the first race, out of the points in the second one. Max Ansin out to 20th on the Garibaldi Honda Esta machine. His teammate Alex Tonkov in 9th. So with 18:45 on the clock, Tommy Searle is 7 seconds clear of Jeffrey Hurlings. Nichols is 3rd, Banks-Brown 4th. Tonus, that's him here on the Monster Energy Yamaha, in 5th place. 6th, Valentin Tellier. 7th, Zach Osborne. Good riding through the field for Zach Osborne. He was buried on the first lap. 8th is Glenn Coldenhoff. 9th is Tonkov. 10th, Tixier now. February 11, Lecana 12, Boutron 13. Ivanov's 14, Lupino, Monticelli, Paturel, Capel, Brent Van Donnick in the points in his first MX2 Grand Prix. Look at that, Tixier and Fevre. Fevre goes through. Tixier, a sitting duck really. Got all that fencing wrapped around the rear wheel. Can't brake. There will be a little bit of drag there as well, as he goes to get on the gas, but he'll try and ride it extra hard. Well, Tixier. Nichols still in 3rd. Tixier just been done there by Roman Fevre. Drops back down to 11th as he comes over the line now. Just ahead of them, Alexander Tonkov in the bright helmet. He's in 9th. Where's Glenn Coldenhoff? Glenn Coldenhoff in 8th place behind Zach Osborne, about 5 seconds further back. But Osborne got Elliot Banks-Brown in his sights at the moment. That's Tixier, 9-11. Red Bull KTM runs it wide. Roman Fevre had to get on the brakes there. was preparing to take a big leap down off the step down. Going to run it up the inside though. It's 461. Looking to find a way back. Good to see Tixier fighting though. Fighting for every single point here. Despite the handicap. Having the rear wheel wrapped up in a bit of trackside fencing. He's just found a way back, forced his way back past Romain Febvre. But Febvre going to square him off here. Tixier gets ready to close the door on him. Comes right across, and Febvre absolutely bar to bar with him, switching it from one side of the track to the other, has no alternative but to square off. Great racing though from the two French kids. High and wide, chase the dirt. That's what Febvre's thinking. Takes a look over his shoulder, thinks, right, where is Lecan? Jordan Lecan around about 7 seconds further back, maybe. 4 seconds. On board with Zach Osborne. That's Elliot Banks-Brown just ahead of him. Battle for 7th place now. In fact, Osborne was ahead of Banks-Brown. Banks-Brown's gone back through. So Zach must have had him just before the finish line to go 6th. Elliot Banks-Brown there on the outside, going to run out of track. Osborne makes sure of that. So he goes back into 6th position, does Zach Osborne, Monster Energy Yamaha. I was half expecting Elliot Banks-Brown then to come into shot, coming out of that turn. Jack Nicholls, he's in 3rd. The guy behind him, number 7, Arnold Tonus, Swiss rider. He's in 4th place at the moment. Tonus, of course, a rider that picked up an injury at the start of the season. Best results so far, a couple of 6th place finishes in Germany, the 6th and a 5th in the Netherlands in Lierop, the 6th and 7th in Europe at Faenza. So this would be his best result. Remember, he was well placed in the second moto in France before it all went wrong. Tommy Searle, 7 seconds clear though of Jeffrey Hurlings. Hurlings setting his fastest lap of the race. But Nicholls though, able to relax at the moment, just a little bit. 15 minutes to go. You won't want to let Tonus by. Would like to finish a year with a podium finish in a race with Jake Nicholls. 4th place in the championship. Been very, very consistent middle part of the season. In fact, there aren't that many races where Jake Nicholls has finished outside of the top 10. He was 5th and 9th in the opening round in Valkenswaard, 7th and 12th. He had a 4th and a DNF in Italy, but that was a hand injury. 10th and 6th in Mexico, 7th and 10th in Brazil, 10th and 8th in France, and then after that, he's only been out of the top 10 on 1 occasion, apart from a DNF. And the rest of the time, 4th, 5th, or 6th, with a 3rd place finish in the first moto in the Czech Republic. So, for anybody looking at the championship table, Jake Nicholls thoroughly deserves to be there in 4th as Tonus launches it long, almost runs out of stopping room. But for now, though, Nicholls in control in 3rd place, but it's not going to be easy to keep the Swiss at bay. This battle for 3rd position in what is the final FIM MX2 motocross race of the Grand Prix season. Round 16 here, the German Grand Prix at Teushenthal. Tommy Searle, 6.5 seconds clear. Jeffrey Hurlings, though, sets the fastest lap of the race with a 2-minute point 8.86. This is the battle for 3rd place. Jake Nicholls and Arnold Tonus. Jake Nicholls there in 3rd place at the moment, number 45. If he remains there and remains ahead of Jordi Tixier, who's down in 10th at the moment, that will give him 4th place overall in the 2012 FIM MX2 Motocross World Championship campaign. There's Boutron, number 17, and Lupino, 77. Those two guys fighting over 13th and 14th place, but Jake Nicholls doing well to weather the storm. Tonus would like a podium before the season's out as well. injured at the start of the year, both him and his teammate, Zach Osborne. Osborne, who's down in 6th place, just 2 seconds behind Valentin Tellier. Here he is, actually, he's caught and passed. Is he? Yes, going through turn 1, so Osborne moves into 5th place. So looking good for Zach Osborne then. He's worked his way through from about 15th position on the opening lap. A poor start for him, didn't get the reaction he wanted, didn't get the drive either. But fortunately for him, might be good enough for a podium, because Tommy Searle will be on 50 points. Jake Nichols will be 2nd overall at the moment on 38. Osborne is on 38. Tonus on 33. And obviously no finish for Elliot Banks-Brown. No finish for Hurlings in the first moto. So Jake Nichols on course then for, I think even if he's 3rd or 4th, he might be good enough for a podium. Depends what happens around him, but there's Hurlings. Not sure what happened to him in the first race, but maybe we'll get to find out in a moment as we go down the pit lane. But looking good in 2nd place, but no match for Tommy Searle, who goes out quicker again at 1:59.8. That gap now, 8 seconds.
Joining me in the pit lane, Jeremy Van Horbeck. Why are you not riding?
You know, I twisted my knee last weekend in Faenza, and I decided with the team to take a break this weekend, because I want to be fit 100% in Lommel in the destination. So and my championship was safe, so my knee's not too bad, but it just needs some rest, and that's why I didn't race. But it feels bad, but you know, the nations is more important now for me, and I want to rock that with Team Belgium, so we'll be ready for that.
Well, congratulations for this year and all the best for next week.
Thanks a lot.
Just under 10 minutes remain. Tommy Searle almost 10 seconds clear of Jeffrey Hurlings. Jake Nichols still there in 3rd. Has put a little bit of a gap now between himself and Arnold Tonus. Tonus, though, he won't back off. He'll be relentless for the remainder of this race. He'll want to try and sneak that podium place, at least in the finish. That'll be good mentally for him going into next year. And also, I guess, into the Motocross Nations a week's time from now at Lommel in Belgium. Riding for Switzerland, of course, but Jake Nichols has managed the situation well here. Still there in 3rd position. Closest challenger for him in terms of that 4th place in the series. Jordi Tixier now up in the 9th place. Broken free from Roman Fevre and found a way past Alexander Tonkov, but he's about 30 seconds down on Jake Nichols with 9 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Final race of the year, remember, in MX2. It's been a 16-round season. Jeffrey Hurlings, who's 2nd in the moto at the moment, was crowned world champion in the 2nd race of the previous round in Italy at Faenza. Didn't finish the first race here. Bike went bang on him after about 4 laps. Ooh, yellow flags, top of the hill, through the next right-hander. Who is it? Couldn't see anything there, so... And obviously the situation already cleaned up. Here's Tim Geiser. Geiser down in 20th at the moment, so he's been off. He's got Brent Van Donning. In fact, he's just found a way past Brent Van Donning there. Battle for 3rd, though. Tonus looking for another way down the inside of Jake Nichols, who's hanging on here. Tonus might try to square backwards and forwards here through this inside. Nichols takes the tight line, though. The premium line through there. Over the line they go. 13 laps complete now for our first 4 guys. Tommy Searle, Jeffrey Hurlings, Jake Nichols and Arnold Tonus. But as you can see, absolutely nothing in it between Jake Nichols and Arnold Tonus. Zach Osborne, he's in 5th, 5 seconds behind these guys, and actually lapping quicker. The 202.8 compared to the 203.8 of Jake Nichols, the 203.1, and Tonus down the inside. Still good enough for Jake Nichols, though, in terms of the championship. We'll have to wait and see, though, in terms of the overall Grand Prix. Might still be on there with Zach Osborne, but It's going to play out in the next 7 minutes, plus 2 laps, of course. Elliot Banks-Brown, who made a great start, down there in 7th on the HM Plant UK KTM machine. Don't want to say if it looks good or bad for him here at this stage, just because maybe commentators cursing the first moto when he was looking so good. But he's got Glenn Coldenhoff behind him there, number 25, the guy in the Kawasaki, the green machine. He's a lap down. So Coldenhoff closing in on the HM Plant KTM of Elliot Banks-Brown. Doesn't get good drive or distance through there. That's going to close up the gap for 25, Coldenhoff. 2 youngsters, stars of tomorrow, definitely. Elliot Banks-Brown and Coldenhoff. Banks-Brown, though, 28th in the championship before he came here. Best result previously, a couple of 12th place finishes this year. He was in 3rd before the bike expired in Moto number 1, but here he is, 7th at the moment. That's him there, number 44. Being closed in on, though, by the 25, Glenn Coldenhoff from the Netherlands. Track drying out perfectly in places, but it's still hard and slick in others. A little bit gnarly, lots of loose stones and loose ground there. You see the front wheel fighting for traction. Elliot Banks-Brown, as he dives through turn 1, downhill, sweeps through turn 2, and then up into turn 3. Tight rut. Coming out of there, through the final corner. Monster Energy finish line just here. Over the tabletop jump, they go. Banks-Brown and Coldenhoff. Tommy Searle, 12.5 seconds clear. You have Jeffrey Hurlings. Hurlings doesn't have to chase him down, but I'm sure he would have wanted a final showdown with the guy who pushed him to the World Championship in this final race of the year, but maybe Hurling's already got one eye on the Motocross of Nations at Longwall in a week's time. Expected to win both races there by the majority of the people, as he is the fastest sand rider in the world. Certainly in MX2, but might be a different ball game on a 350. Who knows? Might surprise us all, but whoa! Zach Osborne all over the back of the 45 of Jake Nichols. So Nichols in 4th. Osborne on our onboard camera in 5th, and going up the inside of him here. The drag race up and over Monster Energy Mountain. Hanging off the side of the bike, the American here on the black Yamaha. Finds a way into 4th place, and what's been a fantastic ride for him. So looking to get on the podium then in his final ever Grand Prix as well in MX2, Zach Osborne. He'll be pleased with that. He would have just wanted a better start. Jay Nichols now knows, with about 4 minutes plus 2 to go. He's got his own destiny in his hands. He's done the hard work. He got out the start. He got out in front. He led, whilst Tixier, the challenger to 4th place in the championship, suffered down there in around about 10th place. He got up to 8th, then fell, dragged a load of trackside fencing out in the rear wheel, did Tixier. And we're still waiting for him to come over the line now. Nichols is over the line. Zach Osborne, one of the most exciting riders to watch. I tell you what, he's not too far off his teammate as well. There's Tonus, number 7. He's in 3rd. Osborne going for it. And he might just do it as well. 2:02.7 compared to a 2:04.8, so 2 seconds quicker that lap. And we've probably got about 4 laps to go in this moto. Tonkov and Fevre, they're duking it up. 461, Tonkov comes under pressure. 66 from the 461 of Fevre. Wow, big leak down there. Brave move from the Bodo Schmidt Motorsport KTM. Didn't take any prisoners there whatsoever. Takes a cheeky look back as well, just to see where the Russian is. He'll hold a tight line here, go defensive for the next couple of turns. But the guy in white, Roman Fevre, 461, a great move. Moves up into 10th place now. But Tixier has already been past him and has disappeared into the distance, so 10th might be as good as it gets in this second race for the young French superstar. Tonkov having a look. Thought about running it down the inside there, using the Frenchman as a turn. Max Anstey in 16th place at the moment. Teammate to the second rider in shot here, the Russian, number 66, Alexander Tonkov. Meanwhile, the first three guys have been over the line. That's going to be 3 laps to go. Tommy Searle, our race leader here, number 100. Monster Energy, Florid, Kawasaki. .13 seconds clear of Jeffrey Hurlings. He looked good in qualifying yesterday. Didn't feel so good in the first race, but hopefully he'll have relaxed and settled down for the second moto. Certainly didn't look too bad in the first race. Looks great in the second race as well, but Tonus still third. Still got 2 seconds between him and Osborne, his teammate. So that one might have run its course, might yet still be decided. Jake Nichols in this stage just going to be off the podium. If Zach Osborne goes past Arnold Tonus, that'll knock a point or two off of Tonus, and it might be Jake Nichols' best bet of getting on the podium overall, because he's a point behind at the moment, Jake Nichols, in terms of the third overall. So Zach Osborne, the 203.4 compared to the 204.0 of his teammate, still has time to finish his season with another podium finish. He was second in race 1. A third in race 2 would be the perfect way to wrap up the season for Zach Osborne. Oop. Bit of bar banging going on between Elliott Banks-Brown and Jordi Tixier. Nervous look over his shoulder from Elliott Banks-Brown across to Jordi Tixier. Probably doesn't want to get involved in that, and he won't do. But Tixier goes straight on, and maybe a little bit of tag going on here. A little bit of give and take between these two. Banks-Brown 44 and Tixier 911 as they fight over 7th position. Koldenhoff is the guy that's gone missing, or is he just ahead of these guys? Can't see him anywhere in shot. So Koldenhoff, who was in 8th. But look at that. Tixier up the inside. Elliott Banks-Brown loses a position. Down through turn 1, there's Tixier. Been a tough moto for him, but been a tough season as well, but certainly showing that on the Red Bull KTM, he's going to be one of the guys to watch tomorrow. He's come on in leaps and bounds this year. So too is Jake Nichols on the bike that Tixier rode to the World Championship last year, or in the World Championship last year, pretty much. Obviously, Tixier going from Nissan GM Racing to Red Bull KTM. Jake Nichols coming in from HM Plant KTM to Nissan. So between those two, I guess the eyes are on those, that little battle for more than just this race. But there's Osborne, still going after Tonus. About a lap and a half to go. Has he got anything to go at Tonus with? Back marker, here's Tonus, number 7. He's in 3rd place. There's Osborne in the background. Doesn't look like it. He might just run out of time, actually. Tommy Searle over the line, though, already. A 206.6. Jeffrey Hurlings will wait for him to come through. Probably any time now, I would think. Yeah, 12.5 seconds down. There is Osborne in 4th place, getting ready to start his final lap in an FIM MX2 Motocross World Championship race. The American from Virginia. Been in Europe now for 4.5 years, riding for Steve Dixon for every one of those years. His team boss rushed to hospital yesterday for a major back operation. Couldn't wait. So he's down the road somewhere in Germany, going to be here for about 10 days as well. So, of course, we wish him all the best in a speedy recovery, but he did send me an SMS, actually, before the start of the race, just to wish the boys well. Well, here they are, third and fourth in the second race. Going to be podiums for both of them as well. There's Hurlings. He's in second position, but here's our race leader and an overall Grand Prix winner, potentially. Tommy Searle takes a long look over his shoulder. He's got about a third of a lap to go. 12.5 seconds to play with. Doesn't need to take any risks here. 5 Grand Prix victories already this year. Tommy Searle is looking like making it 6. Got 10 race wins as well, so this will be race win number 11. Starting to style it a little bit. Most riders finding that difficult to get over that tabletop. Tommy Searle just pulls a cheeky little whip. Goes past pit lane. Final time in 2012. The Reed Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki rider, Britain's Tommy Searle, who will be aged out of the series this year, has to go to MX1. Wanted a good result here, wanted to go 1-1. That's exactly what he's done. Tommy Searle getting ready to whip it here. He lights the candles, hits the Monster Energy finish line jump. Big stuff for Tommy Searle. He's your German Grand Prix winner. So a great way for Tommy Searle to finish the season then. Jeffrey Hurlings comes over the line, 3.5 seconds down in the end, but Tommy Searle just backing it right off.
A great way to end your time in MX2.
Yeah, I'm happy to go out. You know, the year didn't go how I wanted it to, but I'm happy to win here and go out with a couple of wins. You know, that's my last race on a 250, so I'll always remember that.
Well, then we'll see you on the podium in just a second.
Yeah, good work. Jamie Coppins there as well from Monster Energy, just congratulating him. And JJ, Jean-Jacques Lassetti, he'll stay with that team in MX1 next year. But the win is a win, all the same. There's Hurlings. A tough weekend for him. DNF and a win. But Jake Nichols comes over the line in 5th place. He's guaranteed 4th overall in the championship. Not seen his old man down here this weekend, but Guy Nichols, if you're at home, congratulations, your boy did it. He brought it home for you. And yeah, you can all look forward to the Motocross of Nations in a week's time now at Lommel. Of course, the first time for Jake Nichols. But there's Tonus. He finally gets on the podium in a moto. 3rd for him, 4th for Zach Osborne. And 5th for Jake Nichols in the race. 6th for Valentin Tellier. 7th, Glenn Coldenoff. Tixier 8. Banks Brown dropped to 9 in the end ahead of Roman Fevre. That was your top 10. We'll give you the official confirmation in just a moment, of course. Two Yamaha guys congratulate each other on board. Zach Osborne and Arnold Tonus. That little partnership going to be split up for next year, 2013. Jamie Coppins there. Big high fives for Tommy Searle. Great way for him to sign out of the FIM MX2 Motocross World Championship. A double race winner, the overall Grand Prix winner here in Germany. Nice. Great shot. Jordi Tixier came home in 8th in the end. Obviously not good enough to take that 4th place. He's going to have to be content with 5th overall in the championship. But good season for him. I'm sure there's more things to come from him. Official confirmation then. MX2, race 2. Tommy Searle wins by 3.5 seconds, but that wasn't the whole story. from Jeffrey Hurlings. Tonus was third, his first podium finish of the season. Zach Osborne fourth. Both those guys overall on the podium. Jake Nichols finishes fifth. That's going to be good enough for him in terms of the overall championship. Fourth place nailed on now. Valentin Tellier was sixth. Coldenhoff was seventh. Jordi Tixier was eighth. Elliot Banks-Brown was 9, and Roman Febvre's Bodo Schmidt Motorsport. KTM was 10th. Alexander Tonkov, Jose Boutron, Jordan Lacombe, Benoit Paturel, Max Anstey 15th in the end from him. Damon Growlers, Tim Geiset, Davis Ivanovs, Alessandro Lupino and Ivo Monticelli. Overall, Grand Prix belongs to Tommy Searle with Zach Osborne and Tonus, with Jake Nichols down in fourth, just missing out the podium, but fourth in the championship, more important for him, I'm sure. Tixier was fifth overall, Tellier, Febvre, Hurling. So the two guys fighting over fourth and fifth in the championship finished fourth and fifth overall here in Germany. Elliot Banks-Brown, 16th overall. Again, doesn't show the true story, doesn't reflect it. He was third in moto number 1 when he went out with an engine failure. Of course, the championship already decided. First 3 positions even before we turned the wheel today. Hurlings, Searle, Van Hoorbeek, but Jake Nichols guaranteed now as 4th, Tixier 5th, Roulant stays 6th, Anstey stays 7th, Boutron stays 8th, so no change there. Dylan Ferrandis, he was in danger of losing ninth, but I think he may have just kept hold of it, unless Glenn Coldenhoff, yeah. So those two switch positions. Lupino stays 11th, Tonus stays 12th, Febvre stays 13th, Tellier 14th, Osborne 15th, and Larson dislocated his shoulder yesterday, stays in 16th position. Tonkov gains a couple of positions, but there you go. So yeah, Nick Larson crashed in qualifying, about 4 laps to go, dislocated the shoulder, couldn't put it in immediately, and the standing construct Suzuki rider might be in danger of missing the Monster Energy Motocross of Nations at Lommel next weekend. Of course, riding for Denmark. And if that's the case, then that place might go to Stefan Olsen, but still got a week to run yet. Well, Red Bull KTM have won the World Championship in MX2 with Jeffrey Hurlings, and KTM World Champions in the manufacturer's chase as well. And I think Red Bull KTM will probably win the team event as well, or the team standings. KTM, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Honda, Suzuki, Husqvarna and TM. 7 manufacturers in MX2 this year. Well, our overall podium then, 3rd overall, the Monster Energy Yamaha from Switzerland, Arnold Tonus. Big smile from him. Finally, he's done it, got on the podium this year, finished 3rd in the Moto, 3rd overall in the Grand Prix as well. And his teammate, Zach Osborne, the American from Virginia in the USA, takes 2nd overall. So, look at that. No wonder Jamie Coppins was happy. A Monster Energy whiteout on the podium, with Tommy Searle winning on the Floride Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. So Monster Energy 1, 2, 3. Great news for them in the final race of the year. Tommy Searle, Zach Osborne and Arnold Tonus. Jean-Jacques Lassetti, team manager for CLS Floride Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki there. Tommy Searle's boss. He'll collect another manufacturer's trophy this weekend for them. 6 Grand Prix victories now for Tommy Searle. 11 race wins for the season. Thomas Wiebel, Minister of Traffic, hands Tonus his 3rd place trophy. Zach Osborne receives a 2nd place trophy from Knut Bischol, the ex-mayor, I assume from Teufelstal. And Tommy Searle, Floride Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki, The winner in Moto number 1, the winner here in Moto number 2, the overall Grand Prix winner this weekend, the final round, round 16 of the FIM MX2 Motocross World Championship. Holger Stolnecht presents him with his winner's trophy, and a great way for Tommy Searle to round out his MX2 career before switching to MX1 in 2013. Dietke Junge, or Junge, from Adak. Hands JJ, Jean-Jacques Lassetti, Kawasaki's manufacturer's trophy. Jeffrey Hurlings, though, has led the championship from the very first round. It was a red plate until 2 weeks ago at the European round at Faenza. But of course, he turned that to gold, and he's called upon to the podium to receive the gold plate from Dr. Wolfgang Schrubb, the director of the FIM CMS, the Motocross Commission at the FIM. There you go. There's your podium. Tommy Searle, Zach Osborne, second on the right. Arnold Tonus. National anthem, though, for Tommy Searle. Winner here this weekend. Kawasaki winning manufacturers here this weekend. National anthem of Japan. So Tommy Searle wins the final Grand Prix, round 16 of the 2012 FIM MX2 Motocross World Championship here at the Talkessel circuit, Teushenthal in Germany. The boys get busy with a fizzy, but Tommy Searle wins it from Zach Osborne and Arnold Tonus. It was a Monster Energy athlete wipeout on the podium. The two Monster Energy Yamahas there, second and third. But what a great way for Zach Osborne to round out his MX2 career. Tommy Searle as well before going MX1, and Tonus on the podium for the first time. And here's how it went down. MX2, race 2. Osborne on the left didn't get a good start. Jake Nichols did, though. He knew he needed a good start. He knew he had to be ahead of Jordi Tixier. That's exactly where he was. But he had close company as well, because Tommy Searle and Jeffrey Hurlings didn't make it easy for him. Tommy Searle eventually went through. It was pretty tight between them as they went through there as well, but Hurlings was in the background. Eventually he went through into second position. Elliot Banks-Brown made a good start. He was in fourth place. But Hurlings found a way through into second, and for a moment we thought he'd go after Tommy Searle. Nichols then came under attack from Osborne, from Arnold Tonus. Tonus went through in the third. Jake Nichols at that point moved down to fourth place. Then he got caught and passed by Zach Osborne as the American went through. So at that point it was Tommy Searle, Hurlings, Tonus, but it was Searle who won the race and the overall Grand Prix. And maybe he's waiting down by the podium area to speak to Amy, and hopefully we can hear his thoughts. But before that, though, Red Bull KTM, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, Tommy Searle and Jeffrey Hurlings, third, second and third in the World Championship in MX2. They'll have their official medal ceremony just here, as it is the final round. So our top three in the championship. Representation from the FIM just here. Of course, Van Hoorbeek on the right, not riding here this weekend, but Jeremy Van Hoorbeek receives his third place bronze medal. Best ever finish in the World Championship for him. Again, he goes to MX1 next year. Tommy Searle, the overall winner here, but second overall in the 2012 World Championship, gets a silver. Not for the first time. And Jeffrey Hurlings, our 2012 FIM MX2 Motocross World Championship. And that's how they finished this year. So that's how it finishes here in 2012, the FIM MX2 Grand Prix season. Jeffrey Hurlings already wrapping it up at Faenza 2 weeks ago. Tommy Searle, second overall. And Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, third. For Hurlings, it was 9 Grand Prix victories. Tommy Searle, it was 6. The only other person to win a Grand Prix this weekend was Joel Roulance. But for Jeffrey Hurlings, who was crowned world champion, pretty much dominant, really. Double race wins in the Netherlands, in Italy, in Mexico, Russia, Czech Republic, at Lirop, and in Italy at the European round 2 weekends ago. Of course, there were plenty of race wins along the way, and 9 overall Grand Prix victories. He did dominate. He wrapped it up with a round to go. Jeffrey Hurlings, your 2012 FIM MX2 World Motocross Champion. There's Jean-Jacques Lassetti with the winner's trophy for Kawasaki. And hopefully in a moment we can speak to our winners, first, second and third this weekend. It'd be good to have a word with Tommy Searle. Of course, Zach Osborne, his final Grand Prix, second overall. Here we go. Here's Amy, here's our winner.
Joining me on the podium, our 2012 MX2 World Champion, Jeffrey Hurlings, and our GP of Germany winner, Tommy Searle. Let's come to Jeffrey. Jeffrey, how was it out there today?
So, you know, first moto at the DNF, had some bike problems, and second moto took a pretty good start, and then, yeah, well, been a second during all race, you know. I had nothing for Tommy today. He just rode an awesome race, and he was just way faster than me. I just couldn't hold on. So, big respect for that one, and but anyway, I got the championship, so I'm more than happy for this.
Congratulations, Jeffrey. Let's come to Tommy. How is it out there for you today?
That was a good day for me. The first race I rode a little bit tight, and then the second race I just had a really good rhythm. You know, I think it hurt Jeffrey a little bit because the track changed a lot since morning practice and he didn't get the ride. So I had my lines a little bit more down, but obviously it's nice for me to go out with a win here because I didn't get the championship. But congratulations to Jeffrey for all he done this year, and you know, I've had a good year, and now on to MX1 for me.
Congratulations to you both.
So your 2012 FIM MX2 Motocross World Champion Jeffrey Hurlings, and your overall Grand Prix winner here today, Tommy Searle. Pretty much brings us to an end of the broadcast here for the MX2 race, but of course we've still got a lot to look forward to. The Motocross of Nations in a week's time at Lommel, 29th and 30th. Go to mxon2012.com. But for Tommy Searle, though, the perfect way to round out his MX2 career. 2 race wins here. 6 overall victories in during the season. 11 moto wins, and well, yeah, onwards and upwards. MX1 beckons for him. Same team, same bike. Just a change in engine capacity.